All right, let's dive in. You know, most lenders out there are all about one thing, building a massive loan book. But today, we're looking at a company that's focused on something different, building communities. We are going deep into the Aavas Financiers 2025 annual report to figure out how they've managed to pull off this incredible balancing act between purpose and profit.
And really, you don't have to look much further than this quote right from the chairperson's review. Every individual deserves the opportunity to own a home. I mean, that pretty much says it all, right? It's not some corporate jargon or a complex business philosophy. It's a mission. It's about a fundamental human need. And honestly, it sets the stage for everything else we're going to talk about. Okay, so let's start right there with that core human element, this universal dream of owning your own home. Because you have to understand, especially in rural and semi-urban India, a home is so much more than just four walls and a roof. It's the bedrock for a family's entire future. It brings security, stability, and a real sense of dignity and social standing. It's a total game changer. But for way too many people, that dream just stays out of reach.
And this is the massive roadblock. Just think about it for a second. You've got small shop owners, skilled carpenters, farmers. Their income might be perfectly fine, even steady, but it doesn't show up as a neat little monthly payslip. To a traditional bank, that lack of paperwork screams risk. And just like that, the door gets slammed shut on millions of hardworking, aspiring homeowners. This is exactly the gap that Aavas was designed to fill.
So, what do you do when the mainstream financial system just ignores a huge part of the population? Well, you don't try to fix the old system. You build a completely different kind of lender.
Yeah, and Aavas didn't just pop up out of nowhere. You can see their journey has been this really deliberate three-stage evolution. It kicked off as a proof of concept way back in 2011. Then, after 2016, it became its own independent, publicly listed company. And now, since 2023, they've entered what they call Aavas 3.0, a whole new phase that's all about digital transformation. This isn't a company that's standing still. It's constantly evolving.
And this slide just lays out the difference so clearly. On one side, you have the traditional banks, right? They're chasing urban customers with formal salary slips. But Aavas, they've gone in the complete opposite direction. They specialize in semi-urban and rural markets, and they've built their entire system from the ground up to understand customers who have informal income. They're serving a massive segment that almost everyone else found too complicated.
Now, serving a market like this isn't just about having a nice mission statement. You need a seriously powerful engine under the hood. For Aavas, that engine is this perfect mix of people, smart processes, and a huge, huge investment in technology. And if you want to see the payoff from that investment, look no further than this. They have managed to slash the time it takes to get a loan approved from 13 days all the way down to just 6.7 days. I mean, think about that from the customer's point of view. You're eagerly waiting to start building your family's home. Cutting that wait time in half, that is a massive, life-changing difference. So the big question is, how on earth did they do that? Well, it wasn't some single magic fix. It was a really strategic, top-to-bottom digital overhaul. They brought in Salesforce to make the whole loan application process smoother. They moved to Oracle FlexCube to manage the loans at scale. And they use Oracle Fusion for all their heavy-duty financial analytics. This tech stack, this is the powerhouse that made that incredible 6.7-day turnaround a reality. Okay, so a powerful mission and incredible tech are great, but does it actually translate into a healthy business? Well, the numbers give a pretty resounding yes. Let's actually look at the proof. First off, their growth is just wow. Look at their assets under management. That's basically the total value of all the loans they handle. It grew by a super healthy 18% in the last financial year alone, bringing their grand total to over 20,000 crore rupees. That's not a small number. This shows you they've become a major force in the affordable housing space.
And what's really crucial here is that this growth isn't just about getting bigger. Their net profit also jumped by 17%. And that right there is the proof that their model is not only making a social impact, but it's also incredibly sustainable from a business perspective. And this isn't just some lucky one-year fluke. When you look at the 5-year trend, you see this picture of remarkable consistency. All the key metrics, return on assets, return on equity, earnings per share, they're all on a steady upward climb. This is exactly the kind of long-term, predictable performance that gets investors really excited.
And hey, just so we're all on the same page, the report itself gives a great, simple definition for return on assets, or ROA. It's just a way to measure how efficiently a company is using everything it owns, its assets, to make a profit. So that steady rise in their ROA we just saw, it means they're getting smarter and more efficient every single year.
But, as the title of their own report says, Aavas is driven by something more than just financial numbers. So let's circle back and look at how that sense of purpose goes way beyond the balance sheet.
Okay, this is something I find genuinely innovative. We usually think of green homes as something for the premium luxury market, right? Super expensive. Well, Aavas is flipping that idea on its head. They're actually pioneering financing specifically for affordable, sustainable housing. They're not just helping people build homes, they're helping them build better, greener homes from the get-go.
And the impact here isn't just talk. It is real and it's measurable. Through their Green Home program, they're saving over 16,000 cubic meters of water every single year.
On top of that, they're cutting CO2 emissions by more than 400 tons annually.
And if that wasn't enough, it also saves over 540 megawatt hours of energy. These aren't just vague goals. These are hard numbers, showing a real positive impact on the environment.
And believe it or not, their impact doesn't even stop there. They are just so deeply woven into the fabric of the communities they serve. I mean, they're doing everything from putting solar panels on hospitals and completely revamping schools to running road safety campaigns and even empowering rural women with livelihood programs like Gram City. It's a truly holistic way of thinking about creating value.
Which brings us to the big, forward-looking question. Aavas has a new major promoter on board now, connected to the global CVC network. So as they get ready for their next huge chapter of growth, the real question is, can they scale this amazing, high-touch, purpose-driven model to even greater heights without losing the magic, the very essence that made them so special in the first place? That is the challenge and the massive opportunity that lies ahead for them.